Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where I like to share any and all things that bring me joy, hence the name Sharelation. Today I wanted to talk about something that popped into my mind recently, and that is the concept of falling in love with your bags again. Now this is one of my very first quote unquote luxury pieces. This bag is from Chloe and it is the messenger style bag of the line Parity, if I'm saying that right. I purchased this, wow, probably maybe 18 years ago. Definitely some time ago, possibly even 20 years ago. This was a while back when I was in my 20s, and I finally, took the plunge and purchased something that was a little more expensive to me at that time. This bag at that time, I think retailed around $700 to $800, maybe even $900, somewhere around that price range, definitely under $1,000. And I really enjoyed using messenger bags at that time. I kind of still do. Now, this was just one of those it bags at that time. It was a variation of the it bag, and I knew myself that I would use a messenger style bag quite often, and I opted to buy this. It was kind of painful because it was a decent chunk of my paycheck, but I knew that this style worked for me. It was a very simple composition, snap closure, one pocket here, and just an open pocket outside with no pockets outside. I use this so much. I basically use this as my daily bag wherever I went. This was my grab and go bag because this was basically my only luxury bag. Now at that time, I think I did venture out and purchased a Louis Vuitton Speedy, but I didn't use it for very long because I realized later on that it didn't quite work for me. I had the Damia Azur Speedy style. I think it was the bigger size, and I sold it pretty quickly because I just didn't like carrying a top handle bag. The light color freaked me out. Like I kind of learned my lesson. So ever since then, I never really purchased light color bags. Then I thought recently, I never use this anymore. This to me is my retired bag. It's definitely still usable. You can see some glazing cracks because of the age of the bag, but it has held up quite wonderfully. And then I started thinking, I really should enjoy what I have, appreciate what I have, and stop spiraling out of control and being tempted by newer bags just because I'm in a stage of my life where technically I can afford it. Just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should buy it. You can argue either way. So I was thinking about this bag. I don't know if I would really bring it out to use anymore, but it's just something, I'm not going to throw it away or donate it because it's perfectly usable. If I need to use it for whatever occasion or whatever reason, it's still in my collection for me to use as an option. But then I realized later on, as you have a more comfortable lifestyle, I'll call it, where you can afford more, I would start buying other things, and I did. I've kind of slowed down, but here's another example. I purchased this pre-loved in Japan. This is the Evelyn second generation, where the strap is not adjustable, but there is the back pocket. This, if you see, is quite similar in silhouette to this Chloe bag. It's a messenger style. It is a little bigger. It does have a back pocket, but it was one of those things where like, oh, I really like it because I gravitated towards messenger bags, and I purchased this. Then I purchased another one, which was in the gold color. I've since sold it because I figured I don't need two of the same bag in a different color. But I started doing that a lot. Every time I saw something similar that I gravitated towards, I would say, oh, I can buy it because I can, and I like it because it's a different color. It's a different size. I can use it in several different occasions. I know I use it. So I convinced myself just to treat myself and buy it. And now I don't have a huge collection, but it's gotten to a point where I don't really rotate my bags as often as I should. Maybe I should. And this is a reflection of that. Here's another example. I purchased this Celine Nano, I suddenly forgot the name of it, the Nano luggage bag. I really liked this from the moment I saw it. I purchased this pre-loved from Rebag because I really like the gray. I didn't want to pay retail. There was some staining on the handle, but it would have happened anyway. And I do use it, but lately I haven't. And I noticed a pattern here. So then I started getting into bags like this, where there's a little top handle where I can hold it like this. There's the crossbody option. Here we are with the crossbody again. And it was just a different silhouette that I didn't have. Technically, I didn't have. And then after this bag, I forgot which one came first, this one or my Loewe puzzle bag. Might have been a similar time, but this was another it bag, my Loewe puzzle bag. I purchased this in London and got a really good price for it compared to how much it costs now, because I don't have this color, right? And this was another it bag. I don't have this style, although you can see it's similar. There's like a top handle feature and a crossbody option, although I really use this more as a shoulder style, but still there's that versatility here, and it's another theme, right? So I still really love this bag, and I think this is one of my forever bags. But then I started thinking more, and I was thinking back, oh, I really love Louis Vuitton Epi Leather. And a couple of years ago, I was in Hawaii with my family, and I heard that in Hawaii, Louis Vuitton tax, it's a little cheaper, and the tax is lower than New York. So I purchased this Louis Vuitton Morel bag. Again, has that short top handle feature. This can actually be a little shoulder bag. And there's also the removable adjustable strap that comes with it. And so I did it again. And I purchased another similar kind of style bag, although you can see all three bags here is different color. I can use it in different occasions, although they're all fairly casual, and it fits my lifestyle. So it was one of those things where I kept justifying it to myself that I can use it, I could afford it. I never go in depth when I purchase anything of this price range, like any luxury items. I don't think that's worth it, and I don't advise anyone do that, to go into depth for something like this. But it was one of those things where it's like, oh, just treat myself. I was in Hawaii, or I was in London, or I always liked this bag and I found a fairly good deal, and just get it. And so now my collection has grown more and more, and I do have a decent amount of luxury bags. But then I've also started looking at, when I was in Japan last winter, some made in Japan leather bags, because they're simplistic and they're not so eye-catching, and I can use it anytime and not be too worried that it would be too flashy. So then I started buying those. So I'm not saying it's bad, or you do you. I have my preferences, and I've been spending the way I want to spend my money, but sometimes just looking back, it just overwhelms me by having so much, and that when I go on long holidays, I have to think about, oh, is my stuff safe at home? Because it is a thing now. If I wear this out in public where it's too flashy, and it's not in a really good neighborhood, will it catch the wrong attention? Do I have to be worried about that? Oh, it's raining, I can't use these because I don't want to ruin the leather. So a lot of these thoughts start going through my head, but it's just made me realize a lot of things that I thought I would share, to see if anyone else resonated with this thought process, and just self-reflecting and being mindful of how I bring things into my home, and even letting go of some things, which is something I'm still working through. But let me know if you feel the same way, or if you feel that you can relate to any of these points. Happy to have a conversation with you and answer any questions that you might have about these items or any other things from my collection. I hope you stay happy and healthy, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks, and bye.